I finished my final exam in 20 minutes. 100 questions. Perfect silence. But instead of turning it in and leaving, I used the rest of the hour to destroy my teacher's career in writing. By the time the bell rang, she was crying. By the end of the summer, she was gone. And it all started because she decided she didn't like me. If you've ever had a teacher, boss, or authority figure who abused their power, if you've ever been punished not for what you did wrong, but for who you were, hit that like button, subscribe and buckle up. Because this is one of the most earned, slow-burn revenge stories you'll ever hear. The setup, targeted from day one, 9th grade. Honours English. Most teachers tolerated me. Some even liked me, but this one didn't. Not from the first essay. Not from the first missed assignment. From day one. She had a reputation, strict, demanding, old school. She wore it like a badge of honour. But the real issue? She hated athletes, not disliked, not mildly annoyed by. Hated. And I played 3 sports: football, basketball, which meant travel games, which meant excused absences. And she never forgave me for that. Never mind that I also missed class for academic competitions, math tournaments, science events, quiz bowl. Those didn't count in her eyes. Sports were laziness. Sports were arrogance. Sports meant I didn't respect her class, and she made sure I paid for it. Petty punishments and quiet sabotage any time we had an away game. Homework doubled. Not coincidentally, not occasionally. Every single time. She'd assign massive workloads knowing full well we'd be gone all day. On buses, in locker rooms, exhausted. And magically, those were the days she checked homework. Every other day, she forgot. But after away games, clipboard out, eyes sharp, smirk ready. Then there were the papers. I'd get a 78, no red marks, no comments. The student next to me, their page looked like it survived a knife fight. Red ink everywhere. Grade? 92. At first I thought I was missing something, until one paper, one I knew was strong, came back low again. So I asked, calmly, respectfully, her explanation. I wasn't being graded on quality, I was being graded on potential. She told me, to my face, that I was only operating at 70% of my capability, while others were at 90% of theirs. So I asked the obvious question, does that mean my paper can be better than someone else's, but still score 20 points lower? She smiled and said yes. The same teacher who later recommended me for an advanced writing class a full year early. So clearly this wasn't confusion. It was control. The extra credit trap near the end of the year, she announced extra credit. A lot of it. The task? Attend a local college's performance of Antigone. Write a 2,500-word paper tying it into class discussions. Turn in the ticket and program. Expensive, time-consuming, serious effort. It was due Monday morning, but the play only ran Friday to Sunday, and I had an academic competition Monday, the biggest one of the year. Top 10 qualifiers only. Fully excused. School sanctioned. I told her for a full week that I'd miss Monday. Her response, I'd just turn it in Tuesday morning. She told me that 4 times, so I did everything right. Went to the play, wrote the paper. Placed first in one category, second in another at the competition. Tuesday morning, 7 a.m, before basketball workouts, I went to her room. Paper in hand. She didn't even look at it. It's late. I reminded her what she'd said. She claimed she never said that. Her excuses came fast. Another student turned it in Monday. I lived 20 minutes away. No car. Then she said my mom could have dropped it off. My mom, who was also a teacher and had been told there was no rush, then she said I could have done it Monday night. So I pulled up the metadata. Last saved Saturday afternoon. Still no credit. Not a point. I lost the $25 ticket. Hours of writing. My mom's time rushing me across town. And something else. Any remaining respect I had. The final straw, she loved to brag that no one had ever gotten an A on her final. She thought it made her legendary. On the last day, she asked the class, "What's your biggest wish?" I said, "An A on the exam." She laughed and said, "And I wish for $1 million and to not have to deal with you anymore." The class laughed. I didn't, because that was it. The exam and the turning point final exam day. 100 questions, plus a 5-point bonus. 2 hours. I finished the exam in 20 minutes. Perfect focus, no hesitation. Then came the bonus question. What did you learn? Or what was your favourite part? And something snapped. For the next 40 minutes, I didn't answer. I testified. I wrote about never receiving feedback, about being graded on bias, not merit, about favoritism, about punishment disguised as rigor. I wrote that my favorite part of the class was never having to deal with her again, that she was the worst teacher I'd ever had, and that the school was worse for keeping her. When the hour mark hit, I was the only student out of 110 to stand up and leave. The breakdown, I was sitting in the breezeway waiting for my mom. She found me, holding my exam, crying. She told me to go to the principal's office, stormed off, pulled my mom out of proctoring another exam. Inside the office, she screamed, sobbed, choked on her words. For 45 minutes, I calmly explained everything. The principal listened, then asked one question: how much was the bonus worth? 5 points. He then don't give him the bonus. That was it. I scored a 98. Second highest score, 81. The aftermath, and real karma, she tried one last move. Quietly dropped an old assignment by 10 points. My final grade became a 94.4, a B. But the system changed that summer. 90 plus became an A. My B turned into an A. Then policies changed. Homework required oversight. Assignments had to be accepted by email. 2 years later, she was fired. Turns out, I wasn't the problem. She thought she was untouchable. She thought control meant strength. But one honest voice, one moment of courage, was all it took to expose her. Not revenge fueled by cruelty. Revenge fueled by truth. Sometimes justice isn't loud. Sometimes it's just finally being heard. And sometimes the people who hurt others the most are just waiting to be exposed. If this story hit home, smash that like button. Subscribe for more real revenge stories that actually deliver justice. And tell me in the comments, have you ever stood up to someone who abused their power? Because those stories, they matter.